When you lie, how about Shimmer Shabba Shim Bakadas, the honest apostle of the most on peace, I take it for like Shalom. And the title's lesson is going to be Trump predicts losing World War III if he is not elected. But I just want to pretty much, get a little bit into this article and then, put my little 2 cents in on this. Because the thing is that, I don't think anyone really understands the spirit that no matter what, even if Trump wins or Trump loses, World War III is still imminent. And the thing is, America is destined to be destroyed, which is aka Babylon the Great. And it's already prophesied in the scriptures that it's going to be destroyed. And, when you read prophecies like Jeremiah 50 and 51, and then Isaiah 13th chapter, it goes into how, this land is going to be like a wasteland, and Jeremiah 50:51 goes into the destruction of Babylon. And pretty much I'm just going to bring out some information in this article. So it says, this is by the source nm.com. It says, in CPAC speech, Trump predicts losing World War III if he is not elected, by Jennifer Schutt, February 27, 2024, 7:37 a.m. It says, former President Donald Trump painted a bleak picture Saturday of what would happen to the United States should voters re-elect Joe Biden to the Oval Office in November. The front-runner in 2024 GOP presidential primary, who made similar predictions ahead of the 2020 presidential election, told attendees at the Conservative Political Action Conference, known as CPAC, just outside Washington, D.C., that only he could provide America a better outcome. Trump spoke as voters in South Carolina went to the polls there in the state's presidential primary, which Trump is expected to win over his last major challenger, former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley. Through Haley has vowed to stay in the race through Super Tuesday. They'll soon have us losing World War III. We won't even be in World War III. We'll be losing World War III with weapons the likes of which nobody has ever seen before, Trump told attendees at the conference, an annual gathering of conservatives. These are the stakes of this election. Our country is being destroyed, and the only thing standing between you and its obliteration is me. It's true. Trump didn't discuss any bills he would attempt to pass if he's sent back to the White House or executive actions he'd pursue, though he did say he would seek to enact the largest deportation in history of our country and drill for more fossil fuels. The first and most urgent action when we win will be the sealing of the border, stopping the invasion, drill, baby drill, send Joe Biden's illegal aliens back home, Trump said. We'll do all of those things, and we're going to have to do them fast because no country can sustain what's happening in our country. Trump rebuked prosecutors that have brought civil and criminal cases against him since he lost the last presidential election. That includes a case tied to the role Trump played citing his supporters to attack the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021, as lawmakers inside county electoral college votes to certify Biden as the winner of the presidential election. Trump has asked the U.S. Supreme Court to delay the start of his trial in federal district court in the District of Columbia on charges he tried to subvert the election as he pursues his claims of presidential immunity. We have to break out of the nightmare that we're in, Trump said, and we have it in the grasp to make America richer and safer, stronger and prouder and more beautiful than ever before. Border security. Trump continued his campaign theme of disparaging undocumented immigrants traveling to the United States, saying they are destroying the country. Quote, we have a border problem that's 20 times worse than we had in 2016, Trump said, and we'll solve that one too, but it's going to have to be very strong action, and it's going to have to happen fast before our country is just totally overwhelmed. Let's see. And it says the Pew Research reported that the U.S. Border Patrol had 250,000 encounters with migrants crossing southern border in December 2023, the highest monthly total on record. You noted the numbers of encounters slowed in 2020 due to the COVID-19 outbreak. Maca Casado, director of Hispanic media for Biden-Harris 2024, said in a written statement that Trump has consistently demonized Latinos for his political gain. Just days ago, we learned about Donald Trump's plan to deploy combat soldiers to build mass detention camps and round up socket immigrants like cattle, and he thinks he can make a play for the Latino vote and CPAC of all places, she said. Trump claimed that if he were still president, the Hamas terrorist attacks on Israel would have happened and that Russia would have never invaded Ukraine, starting off the war that's lasted 2 years ago. The attack on Israel would have never happened. Remember, Iran was broke. They were broke, Trump said. Ukraine would have never happened. I talked to Russian leader Vladimir Putin a lot and got along with him as well. I'm going to bring out the last paragraph of this article. It says, America already had the opportunity to choose if they wanted another 4 years of hell with Donald Trump, chaos, division, and crazy. They said and will again in November. They said no and will again in November. So this is Jeremiah 50:13. It says, because of the wrath of the Lord it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Every one that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. So Babylon is referring to America, right? And this is the land that's spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. You know, this is one of the most sinful and wicked kingdoms to ever exist on the face of this earth, and that's why it's going to have the worst devastating destruction of all time, you know. And even after the destruction, like the post-destruction, basically, you're going to see, like, you know, as the scripture goes into how it's going to be basically like evil spirits dwelling in this land, you know. It's going to be like a wasteland, and only desert animals is going to dwell here. And in verse 14 says, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend about. Shoot at her, spare her no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord. Shout against her round about, she hath given her hand. Her foundations are fallen, her walls are thrown down, for it is the vengeance of the Lord. Take vengeance upon her, as she hath done, do unto her. Cut off the sword from Babylon, and him that handleth the sickle in the time of harvest, for fear of the present sword. They shall turn everyone to his people, and they shall flee everyone to his own land. So, yeah, let me further jump down to verse 29. It says, call together the archers against Babylon, O ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about, let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work, according to all that she hath done, do unto her. For she hath been proud against the Lord, against the Holy One of Israel. Therefore shall her young men fall in the streets, and her men, all her men of war shall be cut off in a day, saith the Lord. Behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud, saith the Lord, Yahweh of hosts. For thy day is come, the time that I will visit thee. The most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall raise him up. And I will kindle a fire in his cities, and it shall devour all round about him. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were pressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. The Redeemer is strong, the Lord of hosts is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. The sword is upon the Chaldeans, saith the Lord, and upon the inhabitants of Babylon, and upon our princes, and upon our wise men. Yeah, so pretty much like it's already been prophesied that the Lord is going to destroy this land, America. So no matter if Trump wins or he loses, it's still going to be destroyed. And verse 40 says, as Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord, so shall no man abide there, neither shall any son of man dwell there, therein. Yeah. And Revelation chapter 18, It says in verse 8, therefore shall a plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord Yahweh who judgeth her. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for when 1 hour is thy judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. Yeah, because see, all the people that have been doing business in America, all these other nations that came over here, did business, they're gonna really see the destruction of Babylon. And at the same time, it's like it's gonna be in their spirit to like put their the missiles towards Babylon and during World War III to pretty much destroy this bitch America. But at the same time, it's like they're gonna kind of like be a little disappointed with the fact that how it came to that point that they had to destroy this country. It's just the fact that how they're just tired of America being used as the as an oppressor amongst the other nations, by pushing their dollar currency, their fiat currency, pushing their embargoes and their legislations on other nations lands and things of that nature. So that's pretty much the reason why these other nations are getting sick of it, and they want to go as far as destroying this country, America. And I'll say the top nations that has the best nuclear weaponry is no other than Russia, North Korea, and got other nations out there too that's starting to pretty much develop their weaponry as well. Because according to Joel the 3rd chapter, there's a precept that says, let the weak say I'm strong. And let me see, in verse 15 it says, the merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, and saying, Alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, for in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. And every shipmaster and all the accompanying ships and sailors, as many as trade by the sea, stood far off, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What a city is like unto this great city? Yep. And they cast the dust on their heads, and they cried, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city wherein were made rich all that had ships and the sea, by reason of her costliness, for 1 hour is she made desolate. Honestly, I just want to say this, us brothers in the truth, we definitely look forward to the destruction of Babylon the Great, because this country, there's just so much wickedness that go on in this country day in and day out. It's like, it really vexes our spirit, the longer this country has been going. It's like, you see a lot of shit that go on, these wicked people winning. This country gotta go, man. And no matter what, no matter president wins, or no matter whoever leads this country in whatever way, shape, or fashion, it doesn't matter. Most High already set the mark. He already set the date when this country is going to basically go down. And scriptures say that that the Lord is not slack concerning his promise. And we already know through the Spirit that the Lord is already, making his moves, So with that, I hope it made us edify. Let's go. Glory, praise, honor to Yasharahla. Yahweh, Bashem, Shamlak, Yoshai, Bashem, Kakadash, Double honor to Apostle of Great Millstone, Peace, Station, on the Shalom.